So I wanted to share just something else with you real quick when we kind of think about this idea of doing real estate. Now, we talked about the 4 ways that real estate can allow you to really win when it comes to your financial perspective and your financial plan and redefining your retirement and replacing your income. We talked about why real estate's awesome. We talked about the 4 success keys to really making sure that real estate's done right, by removing geography and by having a real plan that can help you, by having a team of experts do the expert level work for you, right? And by simplifying it down to just a handful of steps. And I just kind of wanted to add to that idea and that concept because I've known so many real estate investors who've done a really good job, and I've known a ton more who've really had a hard time. And I just kind of wanted to share with you what my experience has been of these investors that try to get out there and really get it done and use real estate as a big part of their portfolio. I've kind of noticed that most people do real estate in about one of 3 ways. The first way is they kind of read a book or they listen to a podcast and they go, oh, wow, real estate sounds awesome. And they just jump in, right? They're just going to figure it out. They walk out the door. They're looking for the first for sale by owner sign and they knock on the door. Hey, I hear you got a home for sale. Let's figure it out. Now, can you succeed if you do that? Of course. How difficult, however, is it to succeed if you don't know what you're doing and you just try to figure it out? That's the baseball player trying to play basketball if they've never shot a basket, right? It doesn't mean it won't result in success, but it's very difficult to be successful. Now, the second way that I've seen it done is somebody says, you know what, I don't know enough, so I need to know more, so I'm going to pay for knowledge. And they go and they hire a guru, right? They pay $5, $10, $15, $20,000, sometimes $100,000 to have a guru that's going to just explain it to them. Now, you and I both know the guru never really does. It's like their team, and they've got a call center, and they've got books, and they've got, digital videos and a coaching course, and they've got all these things. And these gurus, these programs, these people on TV with the infomercials, hey, they know some stuff. That's for sure. They absolutely do. But what will they do? They'll sell you a package, they'll sell you education, they'll sell you coaching, and then who's the one that's really actually going to do the majority of the work? It's still going to be you, right? Now, here's the good news. Whether you walk out the door and you just try to figure it out on your own, or you pay a guru and you try to learn all this stuff. I know there's one guru who says before you put out a single offer, you need to go look at 100 homes. 100 homes. Do you know how long it takes to look at 100 homes? One time we were looking at taking down a big pool of properties in Ohio and Michigan back right after the crash. And I spent 3 days looking at about 50 homes, and I was going for about 12 to 14 hours a day. And that was just 50. These gurus say take time to go look at 100 homes before you put an offer on one. And how much time would that take in order to complete it? I can tell you from experience, a lot of time. So they share these things with you, but you're still the one that has to go and do all the work. And here's what most people don't realize and don't think about. Now, by the way, we happen to know that like 95% of the people that pay for expensive education don't actually go and transact real estate and do real estate. Little anecdote for you. I don't want to speak too negatively about the real estate coaching industry, but I happened to be at an event once where it was a bunch of real estate guys who sell coaching, who sell packages, who sell mentorship, who sell education. And it was a seminar for people like that to learn how to sell more stuff. Okay. So I happened to be there. We figured it would be a good learning experience. We'd get to network. And one of the instructors, he got up there and he said, all right, come on now, everybody raise your hands. How many of you make the majority of your money doing the real estate you're telling people about? There were only 4 hands up in the room, and those 4 hands belonged to the executive team of our company. Everybody else makes money off selling education, not doing real estate, which was very interesting to me. Now, what does that tell us? That tells us that there's an industry that is designed to get you to spend a lot of money so that you could hopefully go and succeed in real estate for all the cool reasons that we've talked about, right? But here's what a lot of people don't think about. If you're going to do it on your own, if you're going to pay a guru and you're going to get coaching, what still has to be done in order for you to succeed, to make all of that profit to make, because you're going to make it, you're going to own it 100%, you're going to make 100%, it's all you, right? Which is great. But what do you have to do? Well, you got to decide what type of real estate to do. You have to decide what market you're going to go to. And if you decide what market you're going to go to, what if you want to go out of state and go to a different market? Which market are you going to go to? Which state are you going to go to? How are you going to find the team that's going to be there to help you do the real estate that you want to do? And what are you going to do? You're going to wholesale, you're going to flip, you're going to do buy and hold, you're going to do tax liens, you're going to do tax deeds, you're going to go do bank purchases, you're going to go do short sales. What are you going to do? What type of real estate are you going to do? Once you decide what market you want to go into and what type of real estate you want to do, you still have to have a game plan. You have to see how much money you have. If you're going to have to go get private money, if you need to get money from a hard lender, or if you just have cash in the bank that you're going to use to buy real estate. Are you going to do auctions? If you're going to do auctions, how are you going to make the auction game work? There's all these sharks there that spend all day at the auction. How are you going to walk in and just be able to take down a home? And if you do want to take down a home at the auction, what type of research are you going to be able to do on the home before you can take it home or take it down at the auction? And let's assume that you figure out what real estate you want to do, and you figure out what market you want to go to, and you have the money that you need to have in order to go and do the real estate that you want to do. And let's assume that you go to a market where you can go to the auction. Let's assume you're able to get all the research done on the home in the first place, and you go and you take it down to the auction, you get it, now you still have to rehab it. And if it's out of state, how are you going to get it rehabbed? Who are you going to work with? What are the contractors? What type of carpet? What type of paint? What type of tile? Does it need tile? Does it need granite countertops? Can I just do Formica? What do I have to do? How am I going to make this property pop so that I can rent it for the most amount of money, or turn it around and flip it and sell it? And then if you are going to turn it around and flip it and sell it, you got to list it, and you have to know what to list it for. You have to get the offer. You have to field the offer. You got to work with the real estate agent that's maybe there in that market. Once it gets all sold and done, you still have to take that money and figure out what to do with it from a tax standpoint. And if you're going to reinvest it, and if you decided to rent out the property, then you're going to take that property and rent it out, and you have to manage the tenant. And if you're out of state, how are you going to manage the tenant? Who are you going to work with? Can you find a good property manager? How are they going to evaluate the tenant? You have to think of all of these things, and then all you have to do when it's all said and done is, just not lose money. But that's all. That's all you have to do if you want to do real estate on your own. But what if there was a different approach? What if you had somebody who could find the home for you, do the rehab for you, place the tenant for you, continue to manage that property in an ongoing way, and even give you a phone call when that home is to a point where you might want to consider refinancing or listing and selling, so that you could then harvest the money out of the property? What if all of that could be done for you? Well, I share that with you just because I want to go into the last set of 4, which is the 4 steps that we found in order to help our clients succeed in real estate. You could find it, you could fix it, you could finance it, get it financed, you could manage it, you could sell and lease it, you could figure out your next steps. It's going to be risky, it's unpredictable, but you could make some money. Or you could work with a company, whether it's us or another company. I highly recommend you find somebody that knows what they're doing so you don't have to figure it out. Let them find the right deals for you in the right markets. Let their teams go out and fix them. Let them get you financing. I was talking to one of our mortgage guys that we work very closely with, that works with all of our investors and all of our real estate investors. And he said there's a recent article by Freddie Mac, and did you know that investment loans only make up about 10% of the total, portfolio of lending that takes place out there in America? And out of that 10%, what percentage, well, let me rephrase that. So 10% of the 10% of the loans out there are investment loans. Do you know what percentage of loans get denied when somebody's applying for a loan? Nationwide, across the board, it's about 37%. But do you know what percentage of investment loans get declined? It's nearly 50%. The reason we use experts for our clients is our team, once they go through and pre-qualify and pre-approve you to be able to invest in real estate, our team has a 97% success rate of obtaining that loan, so you can use that leverage, so you can own that real estate that has all of those benefits and does all that cool stuff we talked about earlier. How cool is that? Let somebody else do the hard stuff, the expert level work, so you don't have to be the expert. You can just keep being the hero of your own story, not having to rewrite the script of your financial future. Now, one of our clients who's just awesome, this is Lee. Lee just kind of shared this with us the other day. He said, we've been investing with the assistance of DFY, which is us, for almost 9 years and have found the process to be just as they describe. Very professional, complete integrity, very customer service oriented. And he says, each investment we've made has been successful and couldn't have been easier on our end. DFY really does everything for you. Our financial situation is so much better now because of our work with DFY. Now, I'm going to share the 4 steps with you that our clients have seen, but I want to make sure that you know that I'm not just blowing smoke and I'm not just making this up. That's why I wanted you to hear from Lee, who's had success with this. Because again, whether you're going to use DFY or you're going to use another company, do your due diligence and make sure they know what they're talking about. They've got teams in place and they can do that expert level work for you so you can simplify the process to a handful of steps, possibly eliminate geography as a condition for investing, and you've got a real workable plan that allows you to have success so you can redefine your retirement and replace or begin replacing your income one property at a time. So I'm going to play a quick video, so just a little over 2 minutes, from some of our clients so you can hear a little of what the experience has been like working with the company that takes care of the hard things so you can focus on what you're good at, which is your life. And you let a company like ours focus on the things we're good at, which is investment real estate.
Before we found Done For You Real Estate, I was working full-time and putting as many hours as I could in, and there was just no way for me to create any residual income, and I really felt like I was just going to be working until I died.
I was disabled in 1997, and so my income plummeted.
And I'd always wanted to do real estate, but I didn't have the education, the time, or the money to want to invest in what it would take to do it all by yourself.
I remember as I first learned about Done For You Real Estate, I said, this is going to do for real estate what mutual funds did for the stock market. And that to me was just remarkable because that made stock available to everybody, even the little guy. And now suddenly Done For You Real Estate's making investing in real estate available for anybody.
The first time that I met with the project manager, it was so surprising to me that they were able to take our current financial situation and where I didn't see any options whatsoever to begin investing in real estate, they were able to find options that I didn't know even existed.
Another thing that happened when I first started, with Done For You is you guys pulled me in and says, hey, you buy your first house and then, after a while, you buy another house and you sell a house and you buy 2 houses, and you guys said, hey, after 10 years you could have 10 houses. And I thought, no way. There was no way that in 10 years I was going to have 10 properties. But as I bought more and more properties and sold one and bought 2 and sold another one and bought 2, I realized that what you guys said in the very beginning was exactly right.
You realize, oh, that's right, I have to have insurance for all these homes. Oh, well, okay, all set. Call's already been made. Policy should be in your email in the next 5 minutes. Everything that you needed was anticipated.
It doesn't have to be super stressful and weighty and scary. Real estate investing can be fun.
Thousands of families have already begun replacing their income and redefining their retirement story using the DFY framework. Join us. Schedule a call today.